Good evening and welcome everybody to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I am your host, DJ Michael Joseph, and I think I have a show tonight that you might be interested in. If you've never watched the show before, I usually take a couple minutes to top the hour, welcome everybody who's in the chat, kind of see who's here because we always seem to get a lot of international viewers. And after a couple of minutes, then we get into the business, and I have my Rane set up here, and we're going to talk about the Rane. We're going to talk about Virtual DJ and the Rane. We're going to talk about my special MIDI mapping and Virtual DJ and the Rane. And I got this tiny little Rane shirt on. I ordered this shirt, and this is the biggest logo I've ever seen in my entire life. It's huge. But anyway, so let's do a shout out, see who's all there. I saw Mike's there. Hello. Rocky, what's going on? Jim Horn, what's going on? Fly Robin, hi. Thank you for hanging out. Steve. DJ Steve Slick, what's going down in your town? I would like to do a shout out, like I said, to everybody who's there. Rocky says he likes Virtual DJ 2021. Remember, this is Virtual DJ 2021 Summer Edition. Ace Mike Walder is from Montebello, California. I have to say that with an accent or I can't say it. We are on 12 different places. Actually, we're only on 8 of 12, so we somehow did not connect to a bunch of places tonight. I wonder where we're not connected to. That one we're not connected to is no big deal. That one where it's okay, no big deal. A couple that we're missing. It's not a big deal. They're not our regulars. We just added them. Jason says, send me your shirt. I found the Virtual DJ t-shirt already. Well, thanks to Peter the Hubcap dude, I have a couple of Virtual DJ shirts now. I actually have 3 in total. He sent me 2. This is a Rane one that I ordered. I might get a smaller Rane one someday. I didn't know which to wear tonight, Rane or Virtual DJ, and I thought about doing, because I have like a 3-button polo Virtual DJ shirt, and I thought about wearing it over top of this, but I'm like, screw it. I've never worn this on the show, so I'm going to wear it here. Still welcoming everybody into the chat, and then we're going to get started with things. Yes, this shirt would be awesome in a glow party. Yeah, Rocky says he's updated to the current one. Yeah, it's not hard to follow. I'll talk a little bit about that tonight because Virtual does an early access and a regular access, and the studio computer I always do on the early access to get all the little extra things, and the DJ computer is on the plain access. So there's a little bit of difference. All you do is get a few more things ahead of time. You're kind of like kind of a beta, but not quite a beta. You're a little bit past beta. So there. Tom's tuning in from California. Thank you for tuning in, Tom. Like I said, we wait a couple minutes. We go about another minute, and then I will jump into stuff tonight. I'm either going to irritate you with my unnecessary MIDI maps, or you're going to find them interesting. I'm still tweaking on this. I literally was tweaking on this today. I was tweaking on it last week, so I'm always doing little changes. And I know the first question I always get is, why doesn't it work? It does work. I just make it work the way I want it to, which is extra special. So like I said, we're just about done there. See who else is in there. The chat. Thank you everybody for tuning in, wherever you're tuning in from. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight on a buttload of different channels and sites and pages and all that kind of stuff. All right, so we're going to get started tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you've never seen the show, this show is a lot about the mixing DJ more than the wedding DJ. So I talk about hands-on stuff when it comes to mixing. I don't do anything to do with like microphones microphones plugged into equipment, but none of that kind of stuff with the wedding crowd, first dances, talking, none of that stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. I make my full-time living off of being a mix DJ, and I'm super blessed to do so, and I'm very thankful. And I'm just trying to share some stuff with you. And if you've ever followed me, you know that I've been using Denon equipment since the 90s. No, Jake, exclusively Denon equipment since the 90s. And as my 7000 started to get a little bit older, I was looking for the next controller, and Denon keeps putting out these standalones or all-in-ones, stuff like that. They can work with a computer, but they're meant to be run without a computer. That's their intention. It's the way they're built. And I really didn't like any of them. And as I started to make these moves towards something, I didn't have a lot of options. And one of the ones that I had my eye on for a long time was the Rane 1. I also had my eye on the SRT, and there was another one, I can't remember what it was I had my eye on. And I got to try all of them probably since November, December. Had the SRT in the studio for about 3 weeks. Didn't work for me because what do you call it? Pioneer and Serato tend to lock stuff down, so there are things on the device that I can't MIDI map, and it just is a waste to me. One of the things is that I couldn't run Virtual's audio effects post fader. I could use the onboard ones, or I could use Serato's, but it wouldn't work through, at least the way I had it set up, and I just was kind of tired messing with it. And then I did the SX3, and I liked it. Couldn't find a used one of those, and then a friend of mine ended up getting a Rane 1, and I said, can I come over and test it? Tested it for about 2 hours, and I was like, this is definitely what I want. And that's what I spend on every single week now. And I really like it, and we're going to talk about it tonight. I'm not sure where you want to start. Like I said, I'm going to talk about my MIDI mapping because it's kind of specific. I want to talk about some changes that I've done, so I'm going to start with Virtual first and show some of the changes that I've been doing lately over there. There we go. Okay, so we're over here on Virtual. Now, a lot of you know that I use custom skins all the time, and one of the ones that I've been using for a long time is Controller HD by Denyo. And I've always liked it because it throws everything up real high and gives me lots of space down here in the browser to see stuff. And recently I've been thinking, I never stare at these wheels at all. And it has my little logo there, and I've always liked that. So one of the things I decided to do is I wanted to switch over to the default one. And I've been kind of using the default one for a while, and the default still has those there. But I did a shortcut on my computer's keyboard. I have it as Control and the letter Q. And when I do that, it shifts from the Pro, because up here in Virtual, let me do a zoom in there real quick so you can see that there. DJ zoomed. And there we go. So we have the Pro, and then we have the Performance, and they're two different ones. But I did a shortcut so that if I ever wanted to see all this stuff, if I wanted to see the video or the master or anything like that, I would be able just to switch by doing Q, and, Control and Q. It would be like this. Whoops, nope, gotta be clicked right here. So now this is what I run most of the time because I don't bother with the little center things. And this still gives me volume. It gives me gain to see where my gains are at, my pitch controls, all the BPM information, time remaining, time elapsed, name of the song, all this sort of stuff. But it gives me a lot more room down below to work with. And I can even, like I said, because I use the side list a lot when I put stuff over there. And I'll show you some of my shortcuts with that. But this is one of the changes I've been doing lately is I've been running the Performance skin on its minimum. But if I ever do video, which I do video when I'm at the casinos a lot, I can add a video onto this right here. You can actually add all three, video, mixer, and effects. So you have access to all three, or eliminate them all. And when I'm doing video, this is usually what I'm doing with the video when I'm DJing video. And my video is right there in the left deck and the right deck and all that. But if I'm just doing audio, I'm keeping it simple. I'm doing it like that. And that's one of the big changes for me. You know, like I said, a lot of you guys know that I've always used the extra skins over there, and this is one of my changes recently. It's getting, you kind of got to get used to it because you are missing a few things. So if I switch right now, and we go back to here, if I switch right now from hot cues to like Scratch Bank, you're not seeing anything change there. So right now on the deck, I'm switching the different banks. And with Virtual the way it is, you can't see that change unless I come up here and either go, is it effects? Sorry, not mixer, effects. Clicked on the wrong thing there. Effects. You can see some changes that way, or you have to go all the way back to the other skin, which is the Control Q. Whoops, bumped it twice there. And there you can see them changing. You can see the different banks changing on the right side there. So that's why I did the jump back and forth. So if I ever wanted to see some of these, I could, but if I didn't want to see them, it's Control Q and it's gone. One of the things with, I'm going to put it on this one so we can see this. Try to hold your questions for a little bit. I'm going to try to catch as much as I can there. But one of the things with the Rane that I love, absolutely love, is this center section right here for effects. So each of these is a different effect. And whatever is on, and you can actually do two at a time if you want, you then trigger them by the paddle. So the paddle up locks it on this effect, and the paddle down lets you just do temporary. So if I was playing this, that's just an echo there. But if I want to do the echo and a flange, I think it's a flange. Yeah, it's flanger. So if I want to do two of them, or if you just want to do it on and off, and that center section I love a lot because I like to drop in and out effects really fast. So if I want to do like a flip and double,
what we do.
That was the end of the song. I don't know why that died there. But this is one of the big things, and the way Serato and Virtual handle this, and I think this is really cool, way both of them did it, is that if you look right here on each deck, you have 6 effects. So you can hit your little button right here on the effects. This is the stock skin, so keep in mind that. You get a drop down and you get your choices of effects 3, 1, 3 full, which gives you all the knobs and stuff, or 6 or 16 pads. So if I do the 6, then what it does is it gives me these 6 right here to assign to those 6 buttons on the Rane 1. So if I'm playing, and I have the 1 highlighted, and I do the, you'll see it up there, we'll go to the second one. Whoops. Third one's an echo out. And like I said, that's one of the things that I liked about the about that center section in the Rane. I really like being able to jump in and out and grab those effects and have them so easily be changed up on Virtual Skin, because I just want to be able to grab this section over here and change something if I want, change the knobs, anything. If I want to change the parameters, I can open this up, go down to the echo, hit that, and now I have the parameter box right there to change. But again, like I said, that center section is something I work with a lot. So that's part of my MIDI mapping is done with that center section that is a little bit different. One of the other things, I'm just going to kind of blast through some of the mappings that I do, why I do them, and then you guys can ask questions, and I can help you with that here in a minute. So I'm just going to bust through some different things I do here. So, all right, so the next one I mapped is right here. It's the tap button. Now, the tap button was originally set to tap the effect to the beat of the song. So if the song had a beat, I could tap that to make that effect match. But Virtual already does that. So what I did is that in Virtual, there is a tap button so that if we're in the center thing right here, and you can see this song here, if I were to do this tap, let me move this over so you can see all of it. And the tap on this one is right, I don't know where the tap is on this one, so we're going to go to the other skin. You can always find it on this one. All right, so the tap is right here. So if that center line is right there, if for some reason it's off, and I'm going to make it off on purpose, all I have to do is put it where the downbeat is and hit that tap button right here, and it puts it back in the center. I wanted that on the deck so that I can have access to that really quickly. So that if I'm playing and it's off, all I have to do, hold on a second here, is tap that to make that match. And it matches. That changes the right deck, and if I hold down the shift button and tap, it works the left deck. So I made one specifically for the right deck and one specifically for the left deck. So I hold down the shift, tap, and I can set the BPM and tempo on a song on the fly. So that was one of the things that I like to do with that. The other big one here is, and it's going to throw a few of you guys off, is that Virtual, what it does is it allows you to have stems. And if you know what stems are, it takes, so we have the song playing. Let's see if this one has more lyrics. Let me find a song with some lyrics to it there. I could take the lyrics out of the song or isolate them. So one of the things I started doing recently when I'm doing the mixing is instead of doing the high, mid, low, I started using the stems to do mixing. And I wanted to be able to jump back and forth between the high, mid, low on the deck, because in a 4-deck scenario, you can use the channels high, mid, low, and then the channel next to it, like on the 7000, there's 4 channels. I can make the stems on the other channels things affect this channel. But I didn't have that on this, but I wanted to be able to jump back and forth. So what I did was I took the range button for the pitch, which I never change my pitch. It's always at 12, and if I need to, I can do it up on the screen. So this to me was a button that's never used. So what I did with it is I decided to make it switch back and forth between stems and high, mid, low. So you can see here, we're going to do zoomed in. So you're going to watch this area right now. So as I'm turning that, you're going to see the vocal. And if I tap that range button, it changes it to high, mid, low. So the song is going to be
right on the line.
High, mid, low. Take the bass out. Take the mid out. Switch it over. Take the bass out. Turn that back and then go back to the... And that was one of the things I did, is that one button lets me jump back and forth between those two. Again, it's not for everybody. I know that a lot of the stuff I do is not for everybody, but for me mixing, I found that dropping that with using the high, mid, low as vocal instrument beat, that when I'm switching songs, I can pull the beat out of one and then 5, 6, 7, 8 switch it to bring the other one to the front, and using the stems as opposed to the low, which I've done since I couldn't even tell you how long, since John Holman just jumped on the thing there. John was one of the ones that taught me how to blend back in the 90s. And that was one of the things that, like I said, I spent so long mixing with high, mid, low, being able now to mix with the stems. It just sounds so much clearer to me, but I still want to be able to jump back and forth. So that was one of my parameter things that I changed, is that range button. All right, so we're out of this section here. All right, so everything here, that's now, I told you, the high, mid, lows, the buttons, all that, the effects. This is just headphone cues. This right here lets it jump back and forth in your loading area. So remember, I'm just pressing this button right here. So that if you are on the deck, left screen, there we go. So I'm going to move me here. So if I highlight this right here, I'm going to take a couple of those, drop them over in my holding area, which I'll show you how to do that also in a minute. But this button lets me jump where this is highlighted right here. I press the button once. It advances it to the left side over here. See it on the left side? And I do it again, and then it's on the right side. So I can jump around and do all of these anywhere I want to just by doing that, and then scroll. Let me go back to, where's my YouTube one? There it is. And then go back to the center and scroll on that, and I can load a track just by pressing down on the thing. And to me, that was one of the neat things. Like you're going to load it this way, all right? And if you want to do instant doubles, I set that up a little different too. Most of them you tap twice. What I did on mine is the load prep and the shift. So I made that, again, jump around to your different things, and then this throws it into the holding area. So if I'm here, move this back over, and I'm scrolling through here, and I want to load the song to the right deck, I press down on the thing. Is that the same song I loaded? Yeah, so there's a different song. And if I want to throw that in holding area, I hold down Shift and then the button, and it throws it off to the side. And I can just do that with as many tracks as I want. I never have to go to the computer screen. It's kind of annoying to me to have to do that. Or I can go to the left deck and do the same thing, load something on the left deck. But if I want to do instant doubles, I can do... Oops, my effect's on there. I can do the Shift button and then the scroller that you tap down to load. Shift and that drops it over. And there are my instant doubles. So if I want to clear that deck off, throw something else up there, and I want instant doubles. That was another one of my things, the instant doubles on that. Let me get back here to the deck cam. So like I said, all of this has been changed to do what I want it to. The shifts, sync button, still the sync button, Q button, still the Q button, loops are still the loops. I did take these parameter buttons because I never used the parameter buttons and did, again, a lot of this stuff is in the Rane mapping, but they're in here sometimes, and I'm going to get to this in a second. But this is beat jump. So what the beat jump is it lets it jump forward or backwards so many beats in the song. So if you want to keep doing something. So when I'm doing this, when I show you the software, jumping forward, jumping backwards, these are the two buttons I'm going to be showing you. So we go left screen, we're playing. Jumping back each time. Jump forward. Tap, 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 tap. And that's so if you get to the end of a song and you want to continue it, I want quick access to the jump forward, jump backwards. Now, the way they're put in the natural mapping that comes from that, they are underneath in this area here. So you have two different things in this area. So you're going to have hot Q, and the second press does key jump. So if you want to jump your key, the key of the song, plus, minus, whatever. Second one, I mini map to my scratch bank, and second one is the beat jump. So normally that's in there on the second one. So this is where the beat jump is. So if I was mixing, I would have to go there before I could beat jump. I wanted just to make a shortcut and just do beat jump. So my rolls are there, and the second one is loops. I moved that one. This is the sampler. And also, I can't really show it on here. It's kind of hard. But the sampler didn't have a volume to it. So on the front, down here, you have the curve control you've seen for the crossfader. All right. There's also one here that changes the curve control of these for the mixing guys. What I did is remap that knob, just like the curve control, to be the sampler's volume knob. So if we're here, and this is a kick drum, all the way down.
You are listening to Michael Joseph, MJ in the mix.
MC, DJ, MJ.
If it's too loud, if it's too quiet, I can do that. And then the last one is the slicer. And underneath of that is the stem kills. These are the stem kills. But I just, like I said, some of these I want quicker access to. I don't want to have to jump here, tap twice, do this. I want them there. And that's what I did with these two, is made my beat jump what it is. This is the range key, what I told you that I changed for the switching of the stems to high, mid, lows. Slip mode over here still works as slip mode, but sensor has been changed, and I still don't know if I want to do this yet or not. So here's the sensor thing. I don't use the sensor because I play clean music all the time. I never worry about it. So I remapped that to do something that virtual now does. So if we go back to virtual, let me go back to the full screen here. So let's say I'm here and I want to start typing. Virtual did a thing now where what I did was with that sensor button, it now highlights in the search box. I don't know if you can see that. Let me do the zoom in, let you see that. And here, so we're here. Playing, whoops, we're here. And if I throw something up there, the search box is no longer highlighted. So if I press that button, it's highlighted, and I can start typing like that instantly without having to move my mouse around. Well, virtual kind of put that in there recently to where it's the same thing. So if it's not blinking in the box, you reach over and you start typing, they put it in there automatically. So it automatically jumps to that highlighting the search bar. But I did that on the thing just because I kind of wanted to on that. So that's kind of the highlight thing there. It's, again, one of the things I wanted to do. My pitch bends are still my pitch bends because I still, every once in a while, might tap them or whatever. But I think that's pretty much all that I mapped on here, the way that I do this. Like I said, just because I want stuff to be able to jump in and out quickly, get on stuff, and not mess with things. And that's kind of what I did with this. So I guess we can go to questions now in the chat. I know we don't have as many people watching tonight. I think I've bored some people with this. But you have questions about the Rane or virtual tonight, feel free to ask. I'm here for both of those. But I just kind of wanted to share what I did with the MIDI mapping. I'm really having a lot of fun with the Rane. I kind of thought going back to a motorized platter, because you got to remember, back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was motorized platters because it was records. And then we went to CDs and switched that up a little bit. And now I'm back to motorized platters. And I thought the whole nudge thing might be something that I'm not really good at because I've kind of been away from it for so long. But I found that it's really simple for me. And it's kind of natural for me. It's not a big deal. Again, what was the biggest change for me is that for the longest time, the controllers would put the pitch here and here. And then Denon and a bunch of other ones started putting this pitch on the outside over here. And now it's back to here. So I'm still it took me forever to learn to reach to the outside on that platter for the pitch. I now have to remember to reach on the inside of that platter on the left for that. So it's kind of screwed me. So if I then also switch to the Rev 7, I would have to remember to go to the top. So all of these little things there that are just a little bit different that you have to get used to. I like the Rane. Like I said, I have a lot of fun with it. Its size is great for me. I don't need it to be ginormous like 12s and 72. This is what I like. And like I said, the platters I just have fun with them. That's all I can say. DJ Nut asks, have you had, it's not with two T's, have you had any issues with the platters not turning? Not at all. What I'm understanding on some of these people that are having issues with certain things, the 12 had them, that it is, and I hate to say it this way, that it is software related. Please don't punch me, people. That a lot of that, the same way that there was having problems with the SX3 for Pioneer, that it was software issues with Serato. I don't have any problems, and it's the other thing you also have to keep in mind. I say this all the time, and I want to make sure you guys know. Just because a controller says it's a Serato controller does not mean other things won't run on it. That means Serato has paid to have their name on it. That's it. Virtual runs on everything. It was plug and play for me, and from day one, I like that. So I have not had a single issue with anything at this whatsoever. Next one said there, Robin said, more to the Rane one than I thought. Not sure what that means, but I think it's a compliment. So thank you. Keep the questions coming. I'm trying to think. One of the things that is an issue with me, and I'm going to post this after the show tonight on my social media, and I do want you guys' input, is that as you can see on here, my fingerprints, because I jump around a lot, so my hands are kind of sweaty. So these this is the stock disc. And there's nothing on it but my sticker and the virtual DJ thing over here. Yes, I did that. Ha ha. But my fingerprints, and I hate seeing that. And it's not about what other people see. It's about me. So I'm thinking about switching this up, and I can't decide. And I have put 4 different things on a picture that I'm going to share after the show. And you guys can help me tell me which one you like of the 4. So, but like I said, the Rane, I just like the whole moving platter thing. And I just like all of that. Like I said, the way the buttons are set up and different things like that. Like I said, I have the scratch bank that I can jump into.
One, two, 3, 4, 4.
Bust it.
And I go, and by doing the shift, that took me into scratch bank. And all I can do is hit shift in any one of these buttons, and it takes me back to the song that was playing. That's a shortcut. And one of the things that I did with it is so that when I press that button in these, it puts it into motion, so I don't have to hit the play button. It just launches into motion on the scratch there. So, any other questions? Throw them at me. I'm here for you guys. Camera A. Let me know what you guys think. I also did this. Again, just me. Oops, that's not what I want. You can't really see it there, but on this section here, I haven't decided whether I want to put a skin on this or not. But this always wears out for me because my hands are on here all the time. So I ended up putting some clear vinyl over just this section in the center where all the stuff is. You can see it's just a little bit darker. I did that to kind of protect that until I decide if I want to put a skin on it or do something kind of a little bit better than this. Mikey Mike says, go with the light gold or gray platters. No, because the metallic color ones show more fingerprints than anything. So I'm looking at, like I said, I'm going to post it after the show. There's 4 different ones. They have my logos. One of the 4 is this current setup, as is, because, again, I'm not sure if I want to change stuff, but it is just my logo. And then on the scratch line is the Virtual DJ as opposed to Serato. Again, I think it looks fine, and it's visual with that. But the fingerprints are what's killing me. So I'm going back here. More questions. Throw them at me. DJ Positive P says, nice. I love my unmarked V7s. Unfortunately, it no longer supported. The V7s are freaking awesome. If you've never had a chance to use them, they were really great. They're basically like the NS7, but single units. I would not be surprised if you see those come back sometime in the future, because I know that In Music owns Newmark. And In Music in Virtual, Denon already has their single motorized platters, but I think it's a little different. So they have motorized platters there, and they have motorized platters here because they also own Rane. So just like Pioneer has all their different kind of controllers, In Music has all different kind of controllers too. Some in Denon brand, some in Newmark, some in Rane, some in Akai. All these different ones are still all under the same parent company. There we go. DJ Nut asks, what key did you hit to get out of the bank and back to the song? So this is what I do. So, deck cam. So let's say this song over here is playing. And I want to scratch to it. This is hot cues for this song. Alright, but if I do that, it gives me my scratch bank. So you can hear me there. And as soon as I press one of these samples, it will put that into motion, that scratch. So this song I'm going to play underneath, it's going to be playing. So let's pretend that I'm doing that right there. The song on the left you're going to hear. This is playing underneath. Let's say it's looped for some reason, okay? All I have to do is now go to that. And now I have my scratches. The other song is silenced. And if I want to go back to the other song, which that song just quieted down, I hit the shift button and any one of these pads, and it takes it back to the song that was playing. So, there you go. Camera A. Still taking questions for anybody's here tonight. It can be virtual, it can be the Rane, it can be anything. Yeah, Denon has the 5000 and the 6000 now. I have used the 5000 and the 5000M. I've not got to try out the 6000 or 6000M or the new one, which I can't remember, that doesn't have a screen on it. My friend Ed, DJ Ed Lover, just got them, the ones without the screens. He likes them. He compares them kind of like, he says you can kind of think of them kind of like CDJs. He says they feel a little heavier than CDJs, but I'm going to try to get a chance to get those and try them out sometime. I could have went that route and done the singles with a mixer, but I just didn't want to go that route. I like controllers, single units. They just work for me. And this one here is 24.5 pounds, and the case that I have is an older case that weighs 13 pounds. So I'm walking out with a case in this, like $30-some. Matt says, thanks. For some reason, it's not working for him. Like I said, I had to do, Matt, we're going back to the question about the changing the MIDI mapping to make the sample bank jump in and out. Let me see if I can do this here. Left screen zoomed. So if we do here and this here. And I got to remember what I did for the scratch bank. So that's pad mode, save loop, and then pad mode save loop does the motor on with the timestamp, and then I had to put that in there under Scratch Bank, edit. Where's it at? Scratch Bank. So then this is the code I had to do to make them work. So button 1, Scratch Banks, load to deck 1 and play. So the sample that I have on the custom Scratch Bank hotkey bank. So it's just like, your samples are all on different buttons. Did the same thing, but labeled it Scratch Bank, and then I had to put in Scratch Bank load to deck 1 and play. So the and play makes it play, it doesn't. So if I then do the shift in that, that is then going to take it off of that. So that does which direction here? Oops, sorry. So we're going to go here. So play, shift, button is, what was that again? Shift pad 2. So shift pad 2, it's got to be in here somewhere. Shift pad 2, that again is in the mapping on the different banks. So if I went here to the banks, there should be a shift pad 2 that takes it off of there. Again, I had to do all these myself. I know it sounds kind of confusing, but I kind of had to do that. I didn't have a whole lot of problems. Yeah, the LC6000. My friend Ed got those, and I do want to try them out soon. Mike says, when will Virtual DJ be updated? Now, to be honest with you, Virtual's always updated, going to the next thing in November. But in 2020, when they come out with the stems, I think it was 2020, they jumped ahead. So they released 2021 and before they were actually going to, because they wanted to put the stems out. And then they did, those of you who don't know, Virtual DJ does constant updates. So it's not like you get an update and they change the name. There's constant little things fixed and added all the time. Like it could be every day, it could be every week, it could be once a month. Whatever they're changing, you get instantly. You don't have to pay extra for nothing. And they jumped ahead again, like I said, because of the stems, and then they did a small update in the summer of 2021, and that's what they called the 2021 Summer Edition. So by their normal tracking of releasing stuff, should have been November 2021 to release Virtual DJ 2022. They haven't yet. I'm not sure what they're doing. They could be waiting for, like I said, some of the other ones have things that they release, like Algorithm releasing the thing with the stems and all that. Virtual could be just having something big that they know somebody else is going to release, and as soon as they release it, Virtual's going to say, yeah, we have this, because they're working on this stuff all the time. There's so much stuff they do with Virtual, it's not even funny. So Mike says, do you record yourself when you are mapping your Virtual DJ so you can refer back to what you did? No, but I take pictures all the time. That's my note taking, is I'm always taking pictures of things. Tonight I was messing around with some of the samples, sample settings and effects settings, and I ended up, you're probably not gonna be able to see it too well, but I ended up taking a picture of the entire, yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it there, but that's the screen where all of that was on. I took a picture and that's my note. So I don't record myself, I do that, plus there's always backups on it. So I always have the backups, and the way I run my backup of everything, I use Google Drive. So the DJ computer, any changes I make to that, it backs up to Google Drive, and then that brings it down to the studio computer as backups, and it takes it down to my backup DJ computer the same way. So any changes I make to that, it then changes all of it on all the rest of them. So that's kind of why I do that. More questions. I hope everybody's enjoying this show. This is a little different. I wasn't sure how it was going to go off. I did have someone mark over on Instagram when I said about Virtual DJ and Rane One. It's like, why don't you do Serato and Rane One? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So I hope they're waiting on the new Pioneer 4 controller to replace the DDJ 1000, not SRT. I don't know what they're going to do with that, because here's the thing. When Jay did his thing on the new Rev 7, him and Pulse both said that if you were going to get the Rev 7 because you think that it's going to get record box right away, don't buy it for that. They flat out said, don't, if that's what you plan on doing, don't buy it for that. We're not saying it'll never have record box, but we're saying it's not going to be there. So that means that Serato has paid to have their software exclusively licensed to it. But the way they made the controller, it leaves it open for stuff. So people like Algorithm and Virtual can just make their own mapping because there's no rule. The only thing that Serato did was make a thing where we're going to license that controller to our software and not Pioneer software. So they licensed it through Pioneer so that Pioneer couldn't use their software on their controller. And that's kind of what happened with the 1000 and 1000 SRT, is that Pioneer went the opposite way and said, we're making this controller for just Rekordbox. But Virtual works with it, Algorithm, all that stuff obviously works with it. And then they had to make a second one to work with just Serato. So the 1000 works with Rekordbox, Virtual DJ, Algorithm. The 1000 SRT works with Serato, Virtual DJ, and Algorithm. It's just a whole sort of corporate thing. It's a corporate jockeying for stuff. So don't ever believe that something is just Serato or just this or just that. It's only there if the company says, we're going to lock someone else out of this. So that's kind of what happened with that. So I don't know. They would be smart to come out with something like that. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Denon follows up, because they really haven't come out with anything in a while. They're due. And we were told that all of the companies, including lighting companies and everything, look for like spring to summer of 2022 for them to get back to releasing stuff. Because if they release it, they still have to be able to have the supply chain to get it here. And it's just not flowing all that fast. So that's kind of why a lot of this is on hold. So with Pioneer coming out with the Rev 7, they must have a really good, robust, or they've had the shipping things working ahead of time before they decided to do the release. So even though both are supposed to be available next month, February 2022, they would have had to have this into motion long before that. So they probably are playing the odds to try to get out there, get their stuff into the countries where it's supposed to be, and then out there to the people who order it, so it doesn't look like, oh, we promised this, but it's not coming. So the other companies have to do the same. Like I said, Denon was another one that they're due for something new. Newmark did a couple little things. I don't know what they're going to do. That's supposed to be in music's entry-level brand. So I don't know what they would change on the Rane side. They said that they wouldn't, when they released the Rane 1, that they releasing the 2-channel to see how it does before they went to a 4-channel. So it's at least in their thought. I don't know. Denon, Rocky was talking about Denon. He hopes that they can shock the world. One of the things that I look back, I don't know if you saw that post I did last week showing all the different motorized platters there's been over the years, because motorized platters are nothing new. I did one and tracked it all the way back to 2004 when certain ones are coming out, and all through there. And I looked at how many that Denon had motorized platters, and they were not way ahead of everybody, but they've always been one to push the technology further than a lot of the other people do. And that includes their standalones. They're jumping into standalones before a lot of other people are. And it's kind of interesting to see what they're going to do. So where do they go next? Do they continue on with some of these motorized ones like they're doing and make a singular unit motorized like this that would directly compete with their own company Rane's single one? It's hard to say there. Robin says, show us your platter pics. Hey, watch it there, young lady. Don't get fresh with me. No, I'll try to bring them up. Like I said, I'm going to post this afterwards to see what kind of opinions I can get on this. Let me see if I can. I don't think I have it. Where do I have it at? Give me a second there. Again, you can ask some questions while I'm doing this, because I made it on my phone, so I got to send it from my phone to the computer, which that's going to be off. I have the sync off right now. So yeah, any other questions? Throw them at me. There we go. Let's see if that's not going to sync right. I'm going to have to jump in there. But I'm still watching the thing there. Show us your. Let me see the other questions we had there. Yeah, the positive P says about the segregation of the softwares. It's all about money. Like somebody else there said, you want to know why anything happens? Follow the money. It's always going to be that. It's never going to be anything different but that. Let me see if I can find this here. I have 20 things open. It's probably lagging my computer right now. Where is it at? Did I put it here? I don't remember where I just uploaded it to. Again, if you have any questions, hit me up. I'm going to see if I can remember where I uploaded that to. Oh, I can look there for it. And there we go. Okay, so I found it now. Sorry about that. Okay, so here is, let me remove me from that. Boop. So what I'm thinking about doing is either the one at the top one right there is what I currently have. And again, that shows fingerprints a lot. I like the black with my logo is the bottom one. I also really like the white, and the white would not show fingerprints as much. And this one down here is just the stock Rane, nothing special, in white. And I would probably end up putting my sticker over top the Rane like I did there. So it's either going to be like this in white or black, or this in white or black. And I can't really decide what I want to do there. So that's what I'm trying to decide on all of this. We're almost out of time. I know that. Last few questions. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to try to continue to do my show more than I did before. Holidays and me don't get along, so I just kind of took my time away from that. That's why I kind of did that. But I wanted to share with you guys, like I said, the Rane One. I'm really having a lot of fun with it. I'm really, really, really enjoying it as a controller. How long did it take me to map the Rane One? Off and on since I got it in December. Because like I said, I've been tweaking it constantly. I literally was tweaking it before the show tonight. I wanted to do a couple things and change a couple things. So I'm constantly working on stuff, making stuff the way I want it to. Like tonight, one of the things that I changed tonight was as I switched these upper buttons light up. And they also light up if you do that or a single to 2 green. And I didn't have those right before, so I was doing some mapping so that if you press it a second time, first time it's red, second time it's green. So you know what color that is, which bank are you on that. Red and green, red and green, red and green. And that was one of the things I fixed that I didn't have before. Have you used the microphone inputs? Just a single mic I've used. I use it all the time when I'm at the casinos. Well, one of the casinos, because one, they want us to do announcements and different things like that. The other one, we don't talk. But I've used just a plain wired mic and that. And it sounds great to me. I don't have to bump it. I don't have to tweak the high mids and the highs and lows on it. It's pretty much good dead on there. Positive says he likes the white with the small logos. That's one I think I'm leaning towards. I don't know. A lot of people don't like the big logos. For me, it's having the logos there is because I take pictures of stuff it shows and different things, the crowd, and I want to capture my equipment in that picture, and I want my logo to be seen in that. That's kind of why that's there. So, Rocky says he feels about the fingerprints. Again, it's no big deal to anybody but me. I'm the only one that gets irritated looking at my paws down there like that. Where was the one I did? I had pictures the other night of it, both in clear light, like under normal lighting, and I had it under the club lights, and both, it was just like, you've got to be kidding me. That looks that bad. Where are those at? See if I can find it here. I do so many pictures on things, it's not even funny. I just got to hunt through stuff here. Again, last few questions before we shut down. Feel free to hit me up. I must not have moved that over to here. Yeah, here's a club one real quick, if I can show this one. So this is the fingerprints under club lights. And to me, that just looks horrendous under club lights. I can't, that drives me crazy. Even though nobody in the world would notice it but me, it just makes me go, ah. So that's why I want to do that, but I'm not sure which direction I want to go. So that's it. I did see someone, and I can't find out where they got it. I did see someone that had matte black instead of the gloss black, and I thought that would kind of be cool. So I've got to go back through Instagram and find that person that had the matte black ones and ask where he got the matte black, whether he just end up doing some sort of thing through, a vinyl, 'cause you can get the matte black vinyl. If I got like the matte black vinyl with white lettering on it or something like that, that I think would look really cool. Kind of like what I have, but instead of shiny, do matte black with the white. That's a possibility too. But like I said, I'm still just kind of working my way through it there. Last few questions before we're out. Anybody else? Change your liking. No, if you keep using it, if you find stuff, change your liking. A lot of people don't like the fingerprints. Yeah. Will this be included in my book? No, my book that's coming out, and I swear it's coming out. I've been working on the marketing stuff for it recently because I'm having to do websites, social media stuff. If you want to start following the because there's the DJ Michael Joseph side. So on all the social medias, it's DJ Michael Joseph. But for the creative side of things, my website is iammj.com, and I also have djmichaeljoseph.com. So all the social media now for the creative side that I'm trying to build is iAmMJ. So like if it's Facebook, it's iAmMJFB, and Twitter is iAmMJ TW, and Instagram is iAmMJIG. So if you want to follow any of those, YouTube, same thing. And I'm trying to build those up so that when I'm able to do the release, I want everything taken care of so all the media can just blast and do it. But the book is about my creative life and the stuff I've done growing up, because my parents own their own arts and crafts store. So I grew up doing all kinds of arts, everything you can imagine. I, for years, was a dancer that danced. I did TV commercials and everything. I was a vocal performer for years, writing songs. I put out multiple albums. I DJ'd. I do all kinds of stuff, like my creative stuff that I do with you guys here every week. And I wrote a book about the journey and the fact that, no, I'm not super famous, but I'm making a living at this. So I'm not working a day job and haven't worked a day job for over 10 years. Thank you, God, for all of that, because I'm very thankful for his love and watching over me. But it's not about being super famous. It's about living a life that you like. And that's what I'm doing. And in the book, I talk about creativity. I just want to encourage people that if you have that creativeness in you, you can't get rid of it. So you got to deal with it somehow. And that's what the book is about. So there is a section in there about DJing. There's a section in there about a lot of different things. And also, I put out a really great article that's coming out in February's Disc Jockey News newspaper. If you want to subscribe to that, give me a second here because I jotted down the thing, so I make sure I'll be able to say it tonight. We're going to do quarterly newspapers for Disc Jockey News. It's djntv.com, subscribe. So that's djntv.com/subscribe. And I have an article in there in the February's one called The Mind of the Mixer, and it's my view, talking my way through being with a crowd in the middle of the night, what I do, what I look for, what I hear, what I see, what I try. And it's a really good article, and you want to check that out. Again, djntv.com/subscribe. Anybody else here have any other questions? We're running about out of time. Don't forget, also, we have the chill room that happens all the time. That's djntv.com/chill. You don't have to, it's not about DJs DJing, it's DJs just talking about anything, DJing stuff, non-DJing stuff, any of that kind of stuff. So definitely check that out. I think I'm going to jump over there after this. So if you guys want to join me over there and kind of chit-chat, I'll still have this out if you have more questions. And also let me know what kind of stuff you would like to see in the future show-wise, topic-wise. Somebody really did push me recently about the MIDI mapping stuff. I might have to get into that, but it's kind of, I don't know how well I can teach it. I can do it, but I don't know how well I can show it. So maybe I'll do something on that in the future because it's something I love to do. So, but again, thank you everybody for tuning in. All kinds of great stuff coming up. I don't even know what's all coming up. We're definitely going to have more shows. That's about it. So until next time, as always, I end the show with something positive, encourage you. And lately, I've been through some challenges, personal challenges, nothing bad, just, me. And sometimes you got to be nice to yourself and not yell at yourself. So that's what I encourage you today is don't be angry with yourself if you're not achieving things in the timeline that you think they should be achieving or things aren't turning out the way you think they should be doing. Just be nice to yourself and keep working forward because, if you keep working forward, you're going to find it finished eventually. You are. Like the book. I wrote the book in less time than it's taken me to put the book out. So there you go. So until next time, God bless you guys. Take care.